If you want to speak more articulately, more accurately, more natively, more fluently, try this method. Some of you have read my free guide on how to use videos to improve your conversational English. That is a step-by-step written guide. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. My name is Anming Alexander, and I created English Evolution to make English easy for non-native speakers. How to use videos to improve your English. Step 1. Wait, back up. Step 0. There is a step 0. Step 0 is choose a video that is interesting to you and that you can understand. I want you to be able to understand 70% or more of the video, just most of it. You should understand most of it. I chose a video called Dostoevsky's Guide to Ruining Your Life by a channel, a philosophy channel called Unsolicited Advice, because I like philosophy and I like Dostoevsky. It's advanced. If you are not advanced, do not choose this video. The creator speaks British English, so if you're only focused on American English, don't choose this video. The channel is about philosophy. If you hate philosophy, do not choose this video. The video is based on a novel by Dostoevsky. If you hate Dostoevsky, you should probably reevaluate your life. But in any case, do not choose this video. So now, step 0, you have picked a video that is very interesting to you at the appropriate level for you. Step 1 is watch this video without subtitles, just to get the gist of what's happening here. What is this video about?
Everyone around him and ultimately ruined his life.
So when I watched this video for the first time, I just noted that this is a video about the main character from Notes from the Underground and lessons that we can learn from him. Step 2, watch the video again, this time with subtitles, and what you're going to do is analyze the language. What I mean by that is pay close attention to the language that they're using and think about how you might say something similar. Write down phrases and words that you don't know and that you don't use. This needs a little bit of explanation. If you know a word but you don't use it, that means you need to practice using it so that it will be available when you need it. So we all have words that we know and we don't use. Those words are like in our brain somewhere, but we have to like stop and think and go look for them, and sometimes we can't find them. So if you want to speak more articulately, more accurately, more natively, more fluently, try this method. So in step 2, you're just making a list of words and phrases that you don't know, and also words and phrases that you don't use. The second thing I want to mention about step 2, I want you to try to write down whole phrases instead of just words. When I went through this video, I wrote down words that I think a student might need to look up. So you can see that we have mostly phrases here with a couple single words. So we're trying to capture whole phrases when possible, and we're going to turn those single words into phrases later. I'll show you how. Also, I want you to notice how long this list is. I got all of these words and phrases from 3 minutes and 18 seconds of video. This is just a quarter of the actual video. You can get so much from one video. This is one reason that I recommend watching one video repeatedly, working deeply with one video rather than skipping from video to video on different topics. What we're going to do is go through just the top 3 vocabulary words and phrases that I wrote down so you can see how to do this in depth. Step 3 has 3 parts. Look up definitions, find collocations, and write sentences. We're starting with the word spiteful. First, we look up the word. You can use any online dictionary or even ChatGPT to look up these words. I'm just using Merriam-Webster because it's a trusted, free American English dictionary. When we look up spiteful, we see that it's an adjective, and this definition is not helpful because it just says filled with or showing spite. So let's click on spite, and we see that it's a noun, which means ill will or hatred. Okay, so let's check some synonyms. Malice, venom, hatred. Hatred is coming up again. So if spite, the noun, is hatred, spiteful, the adjective, must be hateful. I am writing this definition from my own understanding and in my own words. I'm not copying anyone else's definition. The next thing we do in step 3 is to find collocations on Yoglish or Youglish. I actually do not know how to say it. I should probably look up how to pronounce Yoglish on Yoglish because it might be Youglish. I'm just going to call it Yoglish. I don't know. Many people know Yoglish as a place where you can just go to look up pronunciation in different English accents. But you can also use this website to learn about grammar and usage as well. It is a killer resource for this. Let me show you how. Let's type in spiteful and look for phrases and collocations. Collocations are just words that are commonly used together. Spiteful or resentful, unjust and spiteful nature, angry and spiteful, mean and spiteful drunk, spiteful behavior. So we have quite a few phrases here that help us understand how to use this word and show us other words that are paired with the word spiteful. Resentful, unjust, angry, mean, spiteful nature, spiteful behavior. Something else you can do on Yoglish is to change the accent. This is not just for pronunciation, this also helps with identifying usage differences. So if you're focused on American or British or any other accent, look at how many are here. You can use this feature to help make sure that the usage is correct as well as the pronunciation. By the way, if you like this video, hit like and subscribe to see more like this and support my work. The last thing we're going to do in step 3 is make a few sentences using the word we just explored. So I wrote, spiteful and resentful people are difficult to be around. When we argue, he seems so angry and spiteful. Some children seem to have a spiteful nature. Notice that I made sentences using the collocations I found in the video clips, so I can be pretty sure that I'm using the word in the right way and in the right context. So those are the 3 parts of step 3, and we're going to do it again with the next word, middle management. I was hoping to find out what types of jobs are considered middle management, and the dictionary didn't help much with that, so I went to ChatGPT and asked a few follow-up questions. By the way, this is the perfect way to use ChatGPT for studying. Have your primary sources of information and ask ChatGPT for extra information or for more complicated information. Once you have a basic idea of what is going on with your subject, you can ask more intelligent questions, right? So you're going to get better quality information from ChatGPT. My first prompt was, give me job titles of middle management positions. By the way, when I ask AI a question, we call that a prompt. I am prompting it. The answer it gave was not really direct, but it does help me to understand what jobs are middle management. Department managers, project managers, people who manage teams. I prompted it again to ask how big are these teams? How many people do middle managers manage? Okay, answer 5 to 50 people. So at this point, I have a pretty good idea of what it means to be a middle manager. So now we're going to go to Yoglish and look for collocations. This time I found in middle management, in the middle management level, working in middle management, at the middle management level. So the first thing that we can see is that we use in with middle management. The second thing we can see is that we can talk about levels of management. That is a useful collocation. And then I have a question. Because if you notice, we have two clips that mention level. One says in middle management level, and the other says at middle management level. So do we use in or at when we're talking about levels? This is what the groups are for. I took my question, I pretended I was a student for 5 seconds, I submitted my question to the group, and I got an answer within the first few minutes. Let's talk about these groups really quick. I am in the WhatsApp groups to answer questions. This is actually the whole purpose of the WhatsApp groups. Like, some people seem to think that they're like, hi, how are you, English chats. They're actually not that. Those groups are intended to be support for courses. So when you have a question, bring your questions to the group. And this is another reason that I wanted to make this video, because I want to make sure that you guys understand how to use the resources that you have. So back to our example. Actually, the answer that I got from the group is correct. We do use at with levels. So it looks like it's better to use at the middle management level rather than in the middle management level. When I wrote my sentences, I wrote them like that. She worked in middle management for 10 years. He was stuck at the middle management level. And of course, you can always bring your sentences to the groups to check them as well. Finally, I looked up squalor. Squalor is a noun, and the adjective is squalid. So the adjective means something like dirty or filthy. So squalor means filth. Collocations on Yoglish: squalor, famine, and disease. The squalor they were living in. People that live in squalor. The poor are shoved farther into squalor. Living in squalor. So I'm seeing living in squalor over and over and over again. This is a common collocation. This is almost the only way that anyone used the word. We can also tell that we use the preposition in with squalor. It's never on, it's never for, it's never to, it's never at, it's always in squalor. And this is why we study whole phrases and not just words. You are going to be able to get so much more information when you start studying like this. And we're on to step 4. By the way, step 3 is going to take you forever. Nobody said this was going to be quick or easy. I just said it works. Step 4 is to make the flashcards. Remember that we're not using single words. We are using whole phrases. Where did you get the whole phrases? We found collocations on Yoglish, and now we're going to make our flashcards with the common collocations. For step 4, you can use paper flashcards or any flashcarding app that you like. I have historically used Memrise for this because you can create your own courses on Memrise, and there's a free version. I'll show you briefly how to create a course and what it looks like on desktop. Okay, so after you log in, click on courses, and it will take you to a bunch of cool courses that you could take, but instead, you're going to come up here and click create a course. I have already created a course for the purpose of this video, so I'll show you what I did. I just added the 3 collocations that we just learned. Spiteful and resentful people, in middle management, living in squalor. I pretended that I was a Spanish speaker learning English, so I put the collocations that you're learning and then the translation into your native language. When you go to learn, it will teach you the phrase and then test you on it. These answers look stupid because I only input 3 phrases. So to edit the course, what you're going to do is go to the course page, come over here and click Edit Course, and you can do a few things. You can add words. You can also come up here and change the direction that were tested. Another cool thing in Memrise is that you can add audio, which is super useful if you have time to add the audio. In Edit Course, go over here to Advanced and click Add Column. Name it anything you want, probably audio. Here you can add audio and you can record it yourself right now from your computer. So it's automatically prompting me to say the phrases, and I'm just saying spiteful and resentful people, in middle management, living in squalor. Save it. Now, whenever I go to learn, I'm going to hear the phrases. Hearing the phrases is going to make it so much easier for you to remember them. You have plenty of apps and options for this step. A lot of people like Anki. I'm not personally a fan, but many people use that one. And some people have apps already on their phone where you can just add vocabulary words and they'll test you on them. I just use Memorize because it's the one that I'm familiar with and I like it. Moving on, step 5, write talking points. Talking points are just notes about important parts of the video. If you were going to explain this video to someone, you're just writing down what you don't want to forget. What I did is I listened to the video again, and this time while I was listening, I wrote down important points. So if I have a conversation about the video, I'll be ready. Now we're going to use those talking points in step 6 to write a summary. My summary is about 200 words. Try to keep it short and make sure it's written in your own words. Don't just copy the narrator's speech. Of course, you can use some of the new vocabulary that you've just studied as well, and this would be a great time to try that. Writing is the best way to improve the sophistication of your language, whether that is your native language or a foreign language. Why? Because writing is like slow, deliberate speaking. So you have time to think about how you want to express yourself, and you also have time to think about using proper grammar. Additionally, writing is a great first step for improving grammar because it's going to show you what you don't know. When you make a mistake speaking, native speakers make speaking mistakes all the time. You could make that mistake for any reason, like maybe you're nervous, maybe you just forgot, maybe you didn't care at all. But if you make a mistake when you're writing and you're actually trying to do it right, chances are you don't actually know something, like you're missing something. So then you can use that information, go back and review specific points. You can do this by having a teacher check it for you, or you can do this by running it through some AI like ChatGPT or Grammarly. Okay, if you do it this way, what I want you to remember is that you're not just correcting, you're not just editing. You're actually analyzing and comparing your sentence to the corrected version, and you're looking for why that mistake happened. I won't go too far off track here going into that. If you want a video on how to improve your grammar through writing, just leave me a note in the comments. Let's move on to step 7. Download and brainwash. I mean, listen repeatedly until some of the phrases from the video start popping into your mind randomly, sporadically. If you're not sure how to download YouTube videos, you have a few options. A nice paid option is Snap Downloader. It works well and it's $8 a month. If you don't want to pay a monthly subscription, you could just get it for 1 month and download everything in that month. YouTube Premium is another option. If you pay for Premium, YouTube lets you download easily. The cost varies by country, so I've seen anywhere from $3 to $13 per month. And of course, there are free options. They are annoying and spammy and probably dangerous, and we all hate them. But if you can't pay for something, they're available. Make a playlist for your videos in your music app and just listen whenever you have downtime. Whenever you're driving, walking, exercising, washing dishes, whenever you're free. Step 8. You have all of these new phrases and new vocabulary. Now you need to make time to review them. Please schedule your study time and your review time. I recommend Google Calendar. If you do not have a calendar already, it is free and convenient. Make sure that you're reviewing regularly. Like once a week is a nice rhythm. Maybe you need more, maybe you need less. Adapt your study schedule to suit your lifestyle. Also, let me remind you that my list of top 30 must-watch YouTube channels for improving English is free on the website, as well as the written version of this video, the written steps. Just go to my website and click on free stuff. There might be some other free stuff there too. It changes periodically. Click on free guides, put in your email, and you'll get immediate access to these steps and also the top 30 channel list. I highly recommend not boring yourself to death when you're studying. I made this list to give you a bunch of super entertaining, interesting, engaging options for your English practice. Also, if you like my style, I want to let you know that I've created English Evolution Academy, which you can also check out here on the website. I made it as a low-cost study alternative for people who prefer independent study for whatever reason. It's still new and it is on special offer right now, so check it out if you want to get in at the best price. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you've enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what kind of English content you want to see more of. Bye!